He was a man of many names: Malcolm Little, Detroit Red, El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, but the world knows him as Malcolm X, a man whose journey from the streets to global prominence is as powerful as it is transformative. To understand Malcolm X, we must begin at the very roots of his story. In 1925, a young Malcolm Little runs through the yard, laughing with his siblings, but the joy is short-lived. His father, L. Little, a preacher and follower of Marcus Garvey, receives threats from white supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klan. The family home is burned down. Shortly after, L. Little is found dead in what police rule as an accident, but Malcolm's family suspects foul play. At just 6 years old, Malcolm lost his father. His mother struggled to keep the family afloat, but the relentless pressure of racism and poverty tore them apart. Eventually, Malcolm was sent to foster care. He moves to Boston, where he becomes involved in petty crime. He earns the nickname Detroit Red due to his distinctive hair and lifestyle, engages in burglary, gambling, and drug dealing. In 1946, at the age of 20, he was arrested for burglary and sentenced to 10 years in prison. He is introduced to the teachings of the Nation of Islam through letters from his siblings, begins a rigorous self-education program, reading everything from philosophy to history, converts to Islam, and adopts the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. In prison, Malcolm found a purpose greater than himself. He replaced crime with knowledge and rage with discipline. By the time he was released in 1952, he was a changed man. He becomes the national spokesperson for the Nation of Islam, draws attention for his bold critiques of racism in America and his call for black empowerment, grows the Nation of Islam from 400 members to tens of thousands.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong?
Malcolm's words were both electrifying and polarizing. He spoke truths that many feared to say out loud, challenging both the white establishment and the status quo within black communities. Tension builds as Malcolm begins to question the Nation of Islam's leadership. He learns of Elijah Muhammad's alleged misconduct, which shakes his faith in the organization, breaks away in 1964 to form the Muslim Mosque and the Organization of Afro-American Unity (UAAU). Undertakes the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca, where he embraces Sunni Islam and develops a new vision of racial unity. Mecca changed Malcolm's perspective. He saw Muslims of all races praying together, and this experience transformed his message. He began advocating for unity and justice for all oppressed people, regardless of race. February 21st, 1965. Malcolm X steps onto the stage at the Audubon Ballroom in New York City. Just as he begins his speech, 3 gunmen rush the stage and open fire. Malcolm collapses in front of his wife and children, mortally wounded. Malcolm X was only 39 years old when he was assassinated. His death sent shockwaves around the world, but it also cemented his legacy as a revolutionary leader whose voice could never be silenced. Malcolm X's story is one of transformation, courage, and an unyielding fight for justice. His legacy lives on in the hearts of those who dare to dream of a better world.